Teeny tiny. I was finally in a place to send this nutritious breakfast of ice cream and cookies. Hello team, and welcome to another vlog. Full disclosure, I'm having to redo this little intro bit because I did it 2 days ago, but it didn't record properly. And what I did, like a total boomer, is I took photos instead of recording the damn video. So that's nice and embarrassing. One of the main bits that you would have missed was me talking about the epic day of music that was the Roots picnic in London on Saturday. I would say, shout out to Nas. He was great, and a fantastic rapper, great performer. He was there for an hour, so we didn't get that much of him. But the ultimate surprise of the day for me was the MC of the Roots, who's called Black Thought, who has such amazing lyricism, amazing breath work, but he also talks about deep issues and messaging all throughout his lyrics. So yeah, really fantastic, great surprise, a real standout for me. We were also so lucky because the rapper Common came out and performed loads of songs. He stayed around for the Nas section of the night and he was dancing along. But yeah, Common is a great rapper and we were so pleasantly surprised to have him there because he was only meant to perform on the Sunday, not the Saturday. So yeah, I must say, for the inaugural festival in London, it was fantastic. Just loved it. Okay, so now back to normal programming. Now that I've done the little intro, welcomed you into another episode. Okay, finding anywhere even remotely quiet in this park is really hard because it's full of kids. It is summer holidays, so yes, this will be tricky. But where was I? Yeah, I was just so taken aback by all the talent, and they really put on a fantastic show. If the Roots Picnic comes back next year, I'm all in. Also, forgot to mention, they brought out a couple of female MCs and rappers. They were insane. God, not even the speed, but the lyricism and the sort of wordplay was just out of this world. I just think hip-hop, it's hard to find authentic hip-hop these days, and the Roots are very much all about celebrating that and bringing the best talent into it. And aside from that, they also brought in loads of South London acts as well, and as we are in South London, it was just a great approach to the whole thing. Great organization, great crowds, good food. We had pizza, which was really good. Yeah, that's right. My main topic of conversation is usually food for this. On the food front, I was very impressed with all the choices. There was jollof rice. There was a couple of Caribbean and sort of jerk chicken places. There was pizza. There were noodles. There was a coffee stand. There were waffles. Yeah. It was awesome. I just had a fantastic day. And yeah, I love it when music surprises me in this way. That was the recap of Saturday. Aside from that, I went to watch Spider-Man, what I think is the final installment with Tom and Zendaya. And by Tom, I mean Tom Holland. We're not friends. Though, do I wish we were? Maybe. But yeah, that was pretty decent. And then I know that the last couple of episodes, there's been a lot of TBC plans, a lot of sort of who knows what we'll get up to this week. I would say that this week is opposite. Okay, there's someone playing loud music, so I hope you can still hear me. I just love it when people think everyone needs to listen to their music, don't you? So this week, there's actually a couple of dinners planned. One is TBC in that I haven't really heard from my friend, but one of them is a Sri Lankan place in East London. Looking forward to that. Saturday and Sunday are a little TBC. Sunday, I hope to hit up this first birthday celebration of a local bakery. Watch this space. Aside from that, I am very busy these last couple of days making a recipe book for my best friend. By the time this comes out, she will have seen it, I hope. So her birthday's tomorrow, Tuesday, and I started working on this recipe book on Sunday, yesterday, and hope to finish it today. It is a very ambitious project. Basically, her husband suggested that I do this because she watches all of these episodes, so shout out to her for supporting this little venture of mine. And actually, in one of her older comments, one of the first few comments she wrote to me was, you should do a cookbook. I did say to her husband, who's also a really good friend, this does feel a bit self-indulgent, but on the other hand, I do really like creating something for her, something that isn't a material object, but something a bit more thoughtful, and I hope that she loves it. And yeah, gonna put a lot more work into that this evening because, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Sometimes I like doing hard things, and as soon as her husband suggested that, I was like, yes, I could go down the easy route and just get her something, or I could do this, which I know she'll enjoy more. I'll show you the sort of final result or the work in progress. Right now it's, very much in draft mode. I am going to enjoy my lunchtime walk, gonna head back home, get some work done, finish up for the day, and hopefully finish this recipe book in time for tomorrow. Wish me luck. Hello team, it is after work, Monday's done, so I've made myself this beef hoisin salad with some cucumber, some carrot, some white cabbage on the side. The salad has a bit of like soy sauce, mirin, sesame oil, ginger paste, garlic granules, and then I have that on top of rice as well. So let me show you. And the beef, it has a lot of hoisin sauce in it. The beef also has spring onions in, some sesame seeds, and I also threw in some furikake seasoning at the top of that as well. Let me show you. Here she is. It may not look that impressive, but it'll be good, I can assure you. Hello team, back home from a day in the office. It was a very good day in the office. If you watched my episode last week, I mentioned on Tuesday evening that nobody was around. It was a very quiet office, not what you'd expect from an office that usually is quite bustling and chatty and bantery. Today, it was great. Yeah, great chats were had. But I'm back home. I've just had leftovers from yesterday, which was the beef hoisin with rice and that vegetable salad, which will be my shorts. But I thought I would give my tomatoes from the allotment a go because I still haven't tried them, and I thought, why not try them for the first time here with you? They're very small, teeny tiny. I thought that I had to wait until they were red, but my neighbor who gave me these tomato plants because she had too many, she said that she was waiting too long. They just stayed this color but weren't good to eat anymore. So I'm trying them as is. It is quite sweet actually. That second one was actually nicer. The first one was a bit soft. As I think I've mentioned before, I'm quite a novice when it comes to the allotment. Love it. Love the allotment life. But I'm still very new to it. Let's try a third one. That's nice too, but also soft. So yes, note to self, I need to pick these sooner than I think. Probably as soon as they turn yellow. I do love having a plot on the allotment, and I realize that it's not really something that a lot of Londoners have, and if they do have, they have to pay for it. Somehow we got lucky and we don't have to pay for ours. I have 2 plots, and I'm just growing courgettes and tomatoes for the time being, and some onions actually. But yeah, as I said, I'm very much a novice. But yeah, I love the allotment life. It's nice just being in a little like oasis of nature in the middle of buildings and a busy road. And I also love the community feel of it. The other day, one of the women who has a plot there and is quite active in the sort of allotment community, she is pregnant. Think she's gonna give birth soon. So people from the allotment decided to do a little allotment baby shower, which is so cute. And there was cake, but it's just a great example of the kind of community vibe. And the reason they did that was because it's the area's first allotment baby, which is so cute. But yeah, that's just one example. But oftentimes when people have sort of surplus fruit or veg that they've grown, they leave it on the side and, you know, ask people in the group if they want it. Or people in the group exchange recipes for things. So there are a lot of sort of recipe exchanges over what you can make with courgettes, including pickled courgettes, all sorts. You can make pickled tomatoes. That's all to say, love the allotment. And I'm proud of my little tomatoes. I'm now going to settle down on the sofa, finish this recipe book. I really hope to finish it today because it's actually my best friend's birthday today. And I've kind of promised her this later today. Well, I haven't told her what it is, but I said it'll arrive in her inbox later on today. And it's now 6:30. So I better finish it very soon. Okay, team. I was finally in a place to send this. It's nearly 9:30 on the day of my best friend's birthday. So cutting it very fine. But yeah, created this on Canva using a pre-existing template, but then adjusted it massively. I tried to my best ability, but yeah, in some cases, to be honest, the formatting is a little off. This is really cute, actually. So I've left a quote here that says, "You should do a cookbook." And it was actually a comment that she had left. The whole premise of this was obviously like in the way that critics will leave quotes on books, on the cover of books. And then the table of contents, just to explain this, she hates aubergines. So that's why I have a little sort of not allowed sign. I do not agree with her dislike, but there we have it. I guess you can't agree on everything. And then I just had 5 recipes. So it's not hugely extensive, but within the time that I had, I felt that this was the most I could do. Cute little drawings there. I tried to kind of keep the illustrations relevant to the recipe. So lamb kleftiko, this has some rosemary in it, has loads of garlic, so that's why I have that in there. As you can see, the sort of formatting does go off the wayside a little bit. I tried my best, but I just couldn't get it perfect, which is a bit frustrating. Then we've got feta stuffed flatbread. Then we have Greek Easter cookies. By the way, most of these I do have as shorts or as part of my longer form vlogs. But yeah, some Greek Easter cookies here. As you can tell, the longer the recipe, the less illustrations and the less space on the actual page. Then we've got paneer paratha rolls. Font is one that I use across my long form vlogs. And so I decided to kind of keep it on brand. A little chilies here for the paneer paratha rolls. Then we've got butterbean cacio e pepe, big block of cheese for the cacio e pepe. I've made this before as one of my shorts as well. It is ridiculously delicious. Nice little peppercorn illustration there. It's really cute. And then just final page here. This is quite childish looking, but yeah, I had to give a nod to her birthday, obviously. Happy birthday. Thank you for being my best friend and #1 supporter. So yeah, that's it really. It's kind of a novice, beginner level recipe book, but I really hope she likes it and I can fill it in over time with new recipes and refine it, reformat it wherever I can. Because I think also I'm dealing with the constraints of the original design maybe and the sort of preset settings that it has. But yeah, I will let you know if she likes it or not. She will no doubt comment on this long form video. I have no doubt about that.
Moving away. Also, let's get a picture of up there. So, like, when she's like that, it's like, that doesn't happen. And then she was always, no. Can you take a picture? Sure. You're so lucky. And I was like, I am not so lucky. What, matching? Oh, yeah, they're matching. Sure. You're so lucky. And I was like, I am not.
Morning, team. It is a Thursday and I am about to head into the office. I'm having mixed feelings about that because it's going to reach 35 to 36 degrees today. So it's going to be such a hot commute in and commute out. Yeah. Recap on last night's meal. It was delicious. It's quite bougie in there, which I didn't hate, but I also didn't need. Yeah, nice decor, kind of like summery luxury vibes going on. The food was really good. I'm trying to remember the best dish. Well, the dish that surprised me the most was a prawn biryani, which didn't actually have rice in. It had, as is the traditional way, it had vermicelli noodles, like rice glass noodles. Yeah, that was nice. It came with 2 great sauces. We also had, the dal. The dal was one of the best dishes. We had beef short rib, which was good. The sea bass. The sea bass main had a really lovely sauce with it. I think that might have actually been my favorite. Also great parathas, the flakiest of the parathas out there. So it was good. It was, for me, it was 63 pounds. That included 1 bottle of wine between 4 people. I didn't go in for a second one. So yeah, so 62 is a pretty decent price for a London meal. Yeah, enjoyed it. It was great. It was also such a wholesome moment for the eclipse viewing where we basically got to our table for 6:30. That was the booking time. And then we basically knew that the eclipse was starting from around 7 o'clock. So we ordered all our food and drinks. There were a bunch of people there already with their glasses ready. We didn't have glasses, so we were kind of just like lingering around. And then, yeah, people were very generously offering up their glasses. We were all taking turns with these strangers. My friend and I were like, these people are such a random group of people that would have never known each other had it not been for this moment. So yeah, I think from the sounds of it, that was happening all across London. Very wholesome moment of meeting strangers and them very generously handing over their glasses. And then I ended up taking home some glasses, which there's not much point in because the next eclipse won't be for another 50 years. But anyway, it was a very wholesome moment, enjoyed it a lot. But I better get cracking, better get going for this train. The train itself would be air conditioned, but it's just the walk there and the walk back home after. Anyway, see you later, peeps. Hello, team. I'm just walking home from the station and after work drinks. On my way home, I was checking Instagram stories, and it's actually insane how many bakeries and restaurants are either shutting early or trying to open earlier and then still shutting early because of the heat wave, the 4th or 5th one we've had so far this summer. Yeah, especially bakeries, because obviously their ovens reach high temperatures. They're on throughout, a long period of time in the day. Yeah, so many of them have had to shut because of these high temperatures. It's just insane because, yeah, this country is not prepared for it. AC is quite rare to come by. I mean, even, very well-known food profiles are basically advertising restaurants that you can go to still that have AC. So yeah, it's just a weird time. I've spoken about this before, but yeah, this weekend will definitely entail some bakery visits. A, because I love bakeries, and I think it's important that they do well. They're kind of a community hub. And B, supporting them through what has been a very, very strange period. Anyway, I'm about to head home. I'm gonna finish a recipe that I'm filming and editing for my shorts. It's a sweet one, and I'm looking forward to it. And then it's gonna be bedtime. Okay, the dessert I made yesterday is breakfast today. It is not a very nutritious breakfast, even though there's fruit. So here we've got a ginger crumb that I made the other day. Then we've got the malt ice cream. made with Horlicks. If you're in the UK, you'll know Horlicks. It's basically, I believe people have it to relax or like right before sleep. And yeah, malt ice cream is delicious. And then some peaches on top, which I roasted in the air fryer. Very, very nutritious breakfast of ice cream and cookies. Let's do this. Hello team, I just realized I showed off my breakfast to you, breakfast/dessert, but I didn't even say good morning, good afternoon, didn't even say a proper hello. Well, good afternoon, happy Friday, for me at least. I am just on my lunchtime walk. It is absolutely roasting out. Everything is so dry. If any of you have watched my last episode, I believe I was talking about how, you know, regardless of how hot or roasting it is, you'll always see someone sat in the middle of a dry field right beneath the bright burning sunshine. Regardless of how hot it is, you'll find that in a park here. Well, the other thing I'm realizing is just how many people I've seen with long sleeves. I'm not sure why. You know, it could be for another reason, but yeah, very, very interesting to me. I'm going to put this down now, sit in some shade, read my new book, Yesteryear, which is apparently to do with a social media influencer who's a trad wife. I hope that it doesn't depress me too much. Let's see. I'm not one for embracing the trad wife lifestyle anyway, but yeah, very keen to see what this book is all about. Being chased down by butterflies.
Who I was and what I wanted to look like, and who I want to be, and what my message. Some artists don't know.
Not neat.
Yeah.
Also, you might also be finishing my things to be thrown away. Like, I get this shit. Like, even like 6 months on, I'm like, you all got cooking amnesia. Like,